Hello, Ned here. The clip that you're about to listen to is from the latest ImpTab Unpolished episode that we just released today over on our Patreon. If you like what you hear and you decide you want more, all of our patrons, starting even at the lowest tier, get access to the full episode in audio and video format, as well as our entire backlog of bonus episodes that we've recorded up to this point. You can head on over to patreon.com/improvtabletop to learn more and see all the different rewards available there. Now, on with the show. Right, so you all begin flying on the backs of your eagles towards the vats of casein. And as you go over the trade road to the no man's land here, you can see from down below the forces of the Lord Mueller noticing you up above, and they pull out bows and arrows and start firing them towards you. I need...
I brought something to reach back, and I pull out. These are one of the big guns. Remember these? Watch this. And I'm just going to drop it.
I forgot.
It's not a gun.
Guns are bombs.
It's a bomb.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we just lied about the names.
Yep, you drop a straight-up bomb onto these forces that are firing arrows at you, and with a large explosion, there are no more enemies firing arrows at you.
That's a very impressive gun.
I tied one to the leg of every eagle. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Oh, sick!
They're all...
That's sure to attract the Lord Mueller's attention.
Yes.
In fact, right about this time, you all feel washing over you like a wave, a sudden dullness of your emotions and your senses. It's almost as if your brains are filling with cornstarch slurry, just this slow movement through your mind as you feel your emotions being suppressed by this powerful wave of lactomancy as you get closer and closer to the domain of the Lord Mueller.
Simon's going to try and flare his mozzarella as much as he possibly can to create that bubble, and Ellis is going to try to... Well, there's not much she can do as a soother, I mean, in that instance, because everything's already soothed and numb, so she's going to try to soothe, still try to soothe everything else other than, like, determination or hope, so even though the effect will be null.
Yeah, I will give you will save with advantage because of Simon's help.
Aren't you a rioter, Dross?
No, he's a soother too.
I'm a
You're
soother.
both soothers?
Yeah, we are.
From the way you act, I feel so much emotion whenever you're around. I feel like you're a rioter.
Trust me.
Maybe you've
if
been
I
doing
wasn't
it
soothing you, people would be losing their minds.
That's the secret. I got a 2.
Ooh, very nice.
Let's go.
So yeah, you still feel like this weight upon your minds, but there is one weight that is less weighty than the others. Your determination to keep moving forward. Now, as you start getting closer and closer and closer, things start to get a little bit weird. You can see the landscape flickering a little bit before you. You can see the mountains. For a moment, they look a little bit taller and more craggy than they were before, and then they become a little bit lower and more smoothed out. And we're going to bring in some lactomantic time shenanigans here.
Oh, man.
Because Lord Mueller is using cheeses that you guys ain't even familiar with yet.
Oh, snap.
16.
No, there's...
Nice. It's got like a speed bubble or something. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So, yeah, as you begin approaching, each of you, you start flying into the cloud of grated Parmesan that is falling down from the sky. And the mists rise up from beneath you, the Parmesan falls down from above you, and the eagles keep their course, but each of you begins to feel your reality change and shift a little bit around you. Everybody roll a d20 for me to see who we're going to go with first.
Ooh, natural 20, baby.
Whoa,
Natural
same.
1.
That would
I also
be
got a nat 20.
Dang.
I got a 17.
Okay.
Hey.
Well, Connor and Caleb, that would be great if we were playing D&D.
Right? Yeah. Alas.
But Ellis, with your natural 1, the best roll you can get in this game, we are going to start with you. And we are going to bring you back a little bit to your first memory of encountering the mystical. A person that you once were. You look to the side of you for a moment. You hear kind of a voice speaking from that direction, and you see a version of yourself that once was. And then you blink, and you are the version of yourself that once was. And you are walking through a meadow, a glen of sorts. And what was the strange thing that you observed that let you know that things were never going to be the same again?
As I was walking through the meadow, much younger Ellis, much younger, in a nice, very pretty but young dress, and just I feel like the sun is a little bit brighter, and just being around the meadow, there's some natural fog that's up and risen, and just sort of twirling around and enjoying my time in the flowers and playing with the mist as it comes back and forth, and it ebbs and flows, and it is following me, and then I run away, and then it comes to me and I displace it, giggling with my hands, and sort of twirling around as it sort of mirrors the dress as my dress is twirling. But during that, I would hear my own laughter, and it's almost like I would hear a laughter from somebody else also playing with me. And it was just as going back and forth playing within that mist, and just feeling this connection that when I've talked to others or siblings, they've said they don't have the mist follow them. They don't have these instances in nature where they're by themselves. And it was a set of words that I heard from the mist that caused me to freeze in place, where I turned, and then I realized that I could feel something burning inside of me as a result. Yeah.
And you are sort of back in this moment, and you hear a voice reverberating through the mist that is very different from the voice that you heard all of those years ago. And this voice says, "Those were simpler days, were they not? Would you not wish to return to these youthful, joyful times?"
Just living in that moment and being that person and seeing myself almost in this mirror as the fog and as the mist is creating, reflecting this image back onto me. Just I go to reach out and sort of feel and try to just breathe in the moment that was, and I'm just silent for a time, just trying to live and sort out what's happening.
And the voice, seeing you trying to muscle your way through this mentally, says, "There are powers in the cheeses, the magic that you are not aware of. Magic that taps into all that might be and all that may have been. The ways in which the threads of life diverge and converge. There are many futures ahead of you and many pasts behind you that have led you to this point. I can take you back to a happier time should you wish it."
As Ellis continues to in this trance, try to relive those girlhood moments playing with the mist, and reaches her hand out, it's almost she looks to see her 3 fingers that are just milky white through this like image that has been like supplanted on her brain, and it's like the jarring moment where your brain, like that's portrayed in media, where like the brain is like it flashes between like the two of like the image of who she could be, the image of who she is, and like what reality was. And she has to like close her eyes and hold her head, and as she does, she speaks out loud to the voice. Simpler, yes. And as she closes her fist, she says, but not less real than what is before me at this time. You cannot declare fate. And she tries to pull herself out of the vision in whatever way that she possibly can. She's going to try to like pull herself out mentally and emotionally.
Yes, give me a will save.
Ooh, not great. That's a 16 against my 12.
All right. So you, in the effort to pull yourself away from this vision through your sheer force of will, this is a power unlike anything you have felt leveled against you before. That you know that you have tapped into very powerful things. The mists themselves, as a raw force, are more powerful than what is currently attacking you, but the way that it directs it towards you is adept and malevolent. And in severing yourself from this connection, you are going to take 3 points of will damage.
Ooh, wow.
And while Ellis is having this battle of wills, so too are the rest of our friends. We go to Miles next, I believe, had the next lowest roll. Miles, when was the moment that you knew that revolution was your life's work?